Good day. My name is Richard Dako. I am talking about the AFCON, and today is the final day, the 18th of January 2026. Yeah, today, Senegal is playing Morocco for the finals of the AFCON. And I will give you the rundown of the AFCON, the winners and the host nations for each tournament. Yeah, that's it. I'll be talking about it. And are you aware that only one nation has defeated a host nation in open play? Yeah, and that happened in 1965 when Ghana defeated Tunisia. I'll be talking about that game as well. But today is for Senegal and Morocco. My name is Richard Ako. You may call me Nana Kwesi Ajiban or Ammonia. And you can find me on YouTube under Richard Dako or Ammonia 84. I'll start digging into the match today, which is Senegal versus Morocco. Senegal will play in their fourth final, in the AFCON since 2021. The first time they went to the final was in 2002 when, after 0-0 within open play, they lost 3-2 to Cameroon. Yeah, the current coach of Senegal, Papa Thiaw, was an unused player, substitute in that final, in that game. He was a 20-year-old striker. Their second was in 2019 when Saddam Baghdad scored a second-minute goal to hand Algeria the victory. Yeah, after the second minute, Saddam Baghdad scored, and tried as Senegal did, they couldn't find a winner, and Algeria couldn't add any. They defended, and that was it. They lost it to Algeria. Their final and the last World Cup, AFCON final, was in 2021, played in 2022 because of the COVID. Just like the Euros, they played the Euros in 2021, but it was for 2020. That was what happened in 2021 and 2022. Yeah, they lost. They won it. It was a 0-0 draw with Cameroon, and after penalty shootouts, they won 4-2 on penalties. Yeah, that was how come Senegal has won one AFCON. Meanwhile, Morocco will contest their second final and their first since 2004, when Morocco lifted the trophy in 1976. There was no final in 1976. I've talked about it several times before, that in 1976 there were no final. 4 teams played in the round robin. 2 teams from Group A, 2 teams from Group B who qualified to the next stage of the competition. Should have been a semi-final and a final, but they were placed in a group to play in a round robin, and whoever gets most points wins that trophy. Morocco was on 4 points at the last stage, last round of matches, and Guinea were on 3 points. Yeah, they played like a final. Guinea and Morocco played like a final. Guinea needed a win. Morocco needed a draw, and the game ended draw. Morocco got their wish, so they won the 1976 AFCON. Yeah, the current coach for Morocco, Walid Regragui, played in the 2004 Cup of Nations final. He played 90 minutes, and the 90th minute he got a yellow card. Yeah, that was for Morocco. Yeah, if Morocco wins, if Morocco wins, that will be the second time Morocco is winning the AFCON. Both Senegal and Morocco have one trophy apiece. Morocco won it in 1976, and Senegal won it in 2002 for 2021 AFCON. Today will be the second time for someone. Yeah, somebody will win one, and somebody will remain one. Yeah, Senegal has never ever scored at the AFCON final. I'll take it again. Senegal has never scored at the finals of the AFCON. In 2002 was 0-0 against Cameroon. In 2019 was 1-0 against 1-0 loss against Algeria. And 2022 for 2021 AFCON, it was again 0-0 versus Cameroon. That's it. One time they have won a North African at the finals, they lost. Yeah, they lost within open play. And twice they went, they met a West African. They went to penalties. They've won one and lost one. Overall, they have met 31 times. Senegal have won 6 games. Morocco have won 18 games, and 7 games have ended in draw. So you can see it: 6 wins for Senegal and 18 wins for Morocco. You can see the disparity in them. It's 3-1. If Morocco wins 3 games, they have to wait. Senegal have to wait for Morocco to win 3 games if they win 1 game. Yeah. So that is what it is. That is a mismatch. Yeah, the first time they met was in 1968 World Cup qualifier for Mexico 1970 World Cup. Morocco triumphed 1-0 thanks to Bancroft. Was it Bancroft or Bancroft? Yeah, I remember the name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Remember, I am not an Arab. Yeah. Bancroft scored that goal in the 72nd minute for Morocco to win 1-0. The return leg was a 2-1 win to Senegal. Yeah, Senegal won 2-1. The replay was needed. You know, in those days, away goal rule might be used or might not be used. In that game, it was not used. So it was 2-2 on aggregate. And Morocco needed a replay to decide who qualified for the 1970 World Cup. Morocco won it in Las Palmas, Spain. Morocco won 2-0 against Senegal. Morocco became the second African team after Egypt in 1934 to qualify for the World Cup. Yeah, Morocco deposed of the defending champions Senegal in the semi-finals of the CHAN 2024. You remember the CHAN? The CHAN is the AFCON format for local players. Yeah, I'm from Ghana, so I keep saying local black stars. For the local players, that is their AFCON, the CHAN. It is for them. The game ended 1-1 before Morocco triumphed 5-3 on penalties en route to the reclaiming the title lost to Senegal in 2022. Morocco have won 5 of the last 6 meetings. 5 of the last 6 meetings, Morocco have won it between Senegal and Morocco. Yeah, Senegal's only victory in that period came in the 2012 friendly match when they won 1-0. Historically, Morocco is stronger than Senegal. It's a fact. Yeah, it's a fact that Morocco is stronger than Senegal. You can see it from the statistics that Morocco has won 18 times and Senegal have only won 6 times. Yeah, 6-2. 6 wins for Morocco. For Senegal, and 1 win for. 18 wins for Morocco is just too much. Yeah, Senegal reached their first FIFA World Cup in 2002. In the qualifying rounds, they met Morocco. Having drawn away from home, in Morocco they drew, but at home they won. Yeah, both teams finished 15 points. Yeah, with Senegal progressing with superior goal difference. Yeah, Morocco couldn't qualify for the AFCON final. For the World Cup final because they had an inferior goal difference to Morocco. Morocco only AFCON title came in 1970. Remember, in the qualifiers, they faced Senegal in the first round, defeating them 5-2 on aggregate. I remember Morocco won 4-0 in fact, and whilst Morocco won, Senegal won 2-1 in Dakar. Yeah, so 5-2 aggregate. they won it, and then that helped Morocco to qualify for 1976 World Cup. Why do I keep saying World Cup? 1976 AFCON, yeah, which Morocco eventually won it. Morocco is the 15th host nation to have reached the final. The last 3 host nations to reach the final have won the tournament: Tunisia in 2004, Egypt in 2006, and La Côte d'Ivoire in 2023 AFCON year for 2024. I should say 2024 for 2023 AFCON. Yeah, because that games were played in 2024 for 2023 AFCON. Yeah, that is the proper way I should have said it. Will Morocco follow the trend? Yeah. Will Morocco follow the host nations reaching the final and then continue to win the final? I don't know. The host nation has reached the host nations have reached the final in successive editions for the first time in 2004. Remember, in 2004, Tunisia went to the final. In 2006, Egypt went to the final, and this year too, last edition, La Côte d'Ivoire went to the final, and this year too, Morocco is going to the final. The last host nation to lose within open play was Tunisia. But before I get to that, I'll say this: the last host nation to lose the final was Nigeria in 2000. Remember, Nigeria and Ghana hosted the 2000 edition. Ghana was kicked out of the competition by South Africa through a Siamboga non-vertis goal. That header in Kumasi, it hurt me. It hurt me so bad. Yeah, Nigeria went to the final and lost to Cameroon on penalties after 2-2 draw. Yeah, they lost to Cameroon on penalties. In fact, in the history of the AFCON, no host nation have ever gone to the final and lost it in open play by 1. That one I started talking about it earlier. It was Ghana that did it. What I mean is that only one time a host nation has gone to the final that the host nation didn't lose within open play. I was wrong. Only one time a host nation has been to the final that the host nation lost the final without needing penalty shootouts. That is a proper one, yeah. If the host nation will lose a final, it will need a penalty shootouts. But 1965, Ghana did not need a penalty shootout to win the tournament against the host nation, Tunisia. Remember, Ghana won 3-2 with the Osekofi scoring the winning goal after extra time. After extra time, Osekofi hit the back of the net for Ghana to win 3-2. Yeah, so if Senegal wins within open play, they would have broken a 61-year-old record. Yeah, a 61-year record that Ghana set in 1965. Senegal will be the second team to have beaten a host nation in open play. Yeah, if you will beat a host nation, you will need a penalty shootout. I'll come to that. Host nations have won the final on 12 occasions. Yeah, Ethiopia in 1982, Ethiopia won it. Ghana in 1963, Ghana won it. Sudan in 1970, Sudan won it. Ghana in 1978, again Ghana won it. Nigeria in 1980, for the first time in their history, Nigeria won the AFCON. Yeah, the first time Nigeria won it was 1980. Egypt in 1986, Egypt won it for the third time. Algeria in 1990, Algeria won it for the first time in their history. Yeah, they've won 2 titles, but the first time they won it was in 1990. Yeah, South Africa in 1996, in their history as well, they won it for the first time. Tunisia in 2004, Tunisia in their history, they won it for the first time. Egypt in 2006, Egypt won it for the 5th time in 2006. And La Côte d'Ivoire in 2024 for 2023 AFCON. the host nation won it. Yeah. Hosts have lost in the final 3 times. Yeah. Two of those defeats came for Nigeria. Nigeria against Cameroon in 2000 and Libya against Ghana in 1982 were on penalties, while Tunisia lost to Ghana in 1965 on without penalties. Yeah. Hosts have been to the finals and lost the final 3 times. Two of those defeats were Nigeria against Cameroon in 2000, Libya against Ghana in 1982, and whilst Tunisia lost to Ghana in 1965. Yeah, that is when the host nations have lost the games. Ghana and Nigeria's 3-0 wins remains the heaviest win at the finals. Remember, in the first AFCON 1957, Egypt beat Sudan Ethiopia 4-0, but that final, I don't know if you call it the final. Egypt beat them 4-0 to be the most goals at the final. Yeah, the heaviest defeat at the final. It was 4-0 when Egypt won 4-0 against Ethiopia in 1957. This is the 9th AFCON final between teams from West Africa and North Africa. That means they have met 8 times previously. In the previous 8 editions, West African teams have triumphed 4 times. North African teams have triumphed 4 times. You can see from the records that this final is very, very tight. Yeah, it's very tight. We don't know who is winning. Who is winning today, Morocco or Senegal? In the past finals between teams from West Africa and West African teams have triumphed in 1985 when Ghana defeated Tunisia. Nigeria over Algeria in 1980. Ghana against Libya on penalties in 1982. And Senegal against Egypt on penalties in 2021. So you can see the trend. In 45 years, West Africans have not beaten the North Africans in the finals within open play. Within open play, Ghana beat Tunisia in 1955. And Nigeria beat Algeria in 1980. Or Nigeria beat them 3-0 in 1980. And then from there, for a West African to defeat a North African at the final, Senegal needed a penalty to defeat Egypt in 2021. Yeah, and Ghana needed a penalty to defeat Libya in 1982. For the North African teams, at the finals against West African teams, it was 1980 when Algeria beat Nigeria 1-0 at the final. In 2002, Egypt defeated La Côte d'Ivoire on penalties. In 2010, Egypt beat Ghana 1-0 through Mohamed Gado. If you remember, is it Gado or Gado? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I say Gado. In 2019, Algeria defeated Senegal 1-0. So for the North Africans to win, it's either penalties or just a 1-0 victory. Yeah, that is what the record is. For when West African have to defeat, when West African and North African teams meet at the final, 5 matches have been decided on penalties. Ghana and Senegal defeating Libya and Egypt in 1982 and 2021 respectively. Egypt defeating La Côte d'Ivoire on penalties. This is the 5th time a West African team has faced a North African host nation at the final. This is the 5th time a West African team has faced a North African host nation at the final. On 2 occasions, the West African team won. Ghana over Tunisia in 1965 and Ghana over Libya in 1982. The other 2 nations saw the North Africans host triumph in Nigeria over Nigeria in 1980 when Algeria hosted in the competition. Egypt over La Côte d'Ivoire in 2006. So only Ghana has defeated a North African host nation at the final. And the last one was 1982. That is some 44 years ago. Long time. Long time. Senegal has they have a tough match. Yeah, they have a very, very tough match to play. I'm talking about the AFCON 2026, the final, which is taking place today between Senegal and Morocco. My name again is Richard Darko. You might find me on YouTube under Richard Darko or Ammonia84. Again, this is the last time I'll be talking about the AFCON 2026. From tomorrow, I'll be talking about the today in history and world football. Remember, yesterday, Manchester United did justice to the Manchester City. They beat them 2-0. It was a splendid performance. Back to the AFCON. I'm giving you a recap. For 1957, Egypt won it. 1959, Egypt won it again. 1962, it was Ethiopia who won it. 1963, Ghana hosted the 1963 Cup of Nations. In fact, it was after they played 3-3 against Real Madrid that encouraged Ghana to host the competition. And for the first time, a trophy was donated by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, which was won by Ghana. In 1965, Tunisia hosted the competition, but Ghana won it. In 1968, Ethiopia hosted the competition, and Kalala won it for DR Congo. 1970, Sudan won it against Ghana. So Ghana went to the final 4 times in a row. 1963, 1965, 1968, and then 1970 when Sudan won it. 1972, Cameroon, and 1972, Congo Brazzaville won it. Impele and Mbono. It was Mbono who scored 2 goals at the finals, and then Impele scored 1 goal for them to beat Mali 3-2 at the finals. 1974, Egypt in 1974, DR Congo won it for the 2nd time and the last time. Yeah, DR Congo won it in 1974. They needed a replay after 2-2 with Zambia at the finals. After extra time, nobody could win, and we couldn't find a winner. So 14th March, 1974, they played the replay, and then Mulamba Ndaye, Pierre Mulamba Ndaye, he scored 2 goals for DR Congo to defeat Zambia in 1974. 1976 was for Morocco, the last time and the only time Morocco has won the competition. 1970 was Ghana. Opoku Friye, he scored both goals at the finals against Uganda when they defeated Ghana Black Stars defeated Uganda by 2-0. 1980, Nigeria, for the first time they beat Algeria 3-0 the finals. 1984 was Cameroon. The first time Cameroon won the AFCON was 1984. Yeah, that was the AFCON won by Cameroon in 1984. 1986, Egypt. 1988 was Cameroon again. 1990, Algeria. 1992 was La Côte d'Ivoire. The first time they won it against Ghana. 1994, it was Nigeria again. Nigeria went to the final with Zambia, and they beat Zambia 2-1. Yeah, they beat Zambia 2-1. 1996, South Africa, for the first time in their history, they won it when they were accepted into international football in 1992. Yeah, they won it in 1996. 1998, Egypt. 2000 was Cameroon. 2002, Cameroon. 2004, Tunisia. 2006, Egypt, 2008 Egypt, and 2010 Egypt, boy. They won it 3 times in a row. Yeah, the Egyptians, they're very good on the African continent. 2012 was Zambia for the first time, the Chipolopolus of Zambia, or Copper Bullet. You can say it either Copper Bullet or Chipolopolo, but we prefer to call it Chipolopolo. In 2013, it was Nigeria. 2015, it was Côte d'Ivoire, La Côte d'Ivoire. For the second time in La Côte d'Ivoire's history, they needed to beat Ghana on penalties, to win the AFCON. It was very painful. I won't say might. It was very painful to win twice to La Côte d'Ivoire and twice on penalties. It was very, very painful. In 2017, Cameroon won it. In 2019, Algeria won it. 2021, played in 2022, Senegal won it for the first time in their history. Yeah, and then 2024, it was 2023, but played in 2024 when La Côte d'Ivoire won it. So this is the recap of the winners of the AFCON competitions to date. Yeah, who wins 2026 AFCON? Morocco or Senegal? I don't know who is going to win, but whoever wins, congratulations in advance. My name is Richard Ako. As I said, you might call me Nana Kwesiajiman or Ammonia. I have many names. I have many names. Yeah, and you can find me on YouTube under Richard Ako or Ammonia 84. Until then, I see you again. Bye.